to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Amy. I'm an Administrative Services Manager here at Bagot. And it's the day before Thanksgiving. I'm so excited. I love stuffing, so I can't wait for tomorrow. But I think we did this last year around this time, but you know, it's always a good reminder to have some safety tips the day before Thanksgiving. So a few things to keep in mind. Fire safety. First of all, don't let the kids around the stove, the ovens, the lighters, whatever. Just keep them out of the kitchen as much as possible. Knives, all those kinds of things. Keep them out of the way of the kids. Speaking of fire, if you are going to fry a turkey this year, make sure it is not frozen and it is not wet at all. Like there should be no water on it, because as soon as you put it in the oil, it's going to explode if there's any sort of water involved. And don't keep that oil underneath any type of roof whatsoever. It's amazing the videos you can find online of people who stick their fryer underneath a patio and then stick a frozen turkey in it, and you know, boom, the house goes up. We don't want that happening, all right? So make sure if you're frying a turkey to use all those safety precautions, okay? And even if you're cooking one in the oven, use some safety precautions. We like to make what we call the turkey bomb, which is a recipe we learned, I don't know, a million years ago. And you put the turkey in like a paper bag. You seal the paper bag. We usually have to use two, and then you oil up the paper bag, and then you cook it for an hour at 500, turn it down to 400 for an hour, 300 for an hour, and it comes out looking like a Norman Rockwell picture. But my mother-in-law has this oven that if you put it at 500, the broiler would turn on. Not so good when you have a bag that's, you know, oiled up. So that was a little tricky too. So again, fire safety all around. Be cautious when you're cooking. Thoroughly cook your foods though, okay? So we don't want anybody not feeling well the day after because they were eating something that maybe needed a little bit longer in the oven. It would be better to make your dinner a little late than to serve food that isn't quite ready to be eaten. So make sure to thoroughly cook your food. But also, if you're deciding to take that little nap due to the tryptophan after your meal, make sure to put your foods away first. Don't leave them sitting out for hours and then putting them away and eating them the next day or even later that evening. And again, causing a whole stomach upset that we don't want for the holidays. So those are just a few things to keep in mind. If you're traveling, plan plenty of time for that travel so that you're not in a rush. Make sure to lock your car, all those good things. I know some people bring gifts and stuff with them at this time. Maybe you're not going to be together for all the holidays, so you might be bringing things with you. Make sure to keep those out of sight, or even just for the rest of the holiday season. If you're shopping, keep that stuff out of sight. If you're hitting the Black Friday sales, be cautious. Make sure you're locking your car, put stuff in your trunk, and be aware of your surroundings while you're out. That was just kind of an added bonus little thing while we're throwing that out there. Let's see. Oh, if you have pets, be very careful what they're eating on Thanksgiving. Bones are terrible for them. Turkey bones, any sort of poultry bones are terrible for them. You don't really want them getting the skin or the dark meat. It's a little too fatty for them. Don't let them touch the stuffing because usually there is onions in it. So no onions of any kind for the pets. No grapes, no raisins if those are in some of your recipes. Just some things to kind of keep in mind. Be cautious. Basically just try to keep your food off the floor. and don't give the pets anything that is not just their pet food. If you want to give them a little treat, a little bit of white meat turkey is probably the best thing that you can do. Pies, sugars, all those kinds of things are all a bad idea. Now, if you're somebody who is trying to not completely and totally overindulge this holiday season, this is where my expertise comes in. For years, I worked in a company that helps with that. So use a smaller plate. Make sure you don't starve yourself all day long going into the meal, because you will definitely overeat if you do that. So, you know, load up on fruits and veggies and some lighter things, lower calorie items earlier in the day so that you can then enjoy what you're doing. Don't be afraid to actually use serving spoons that measure, you know, so that you kind of know what you're doing. Do not serve from food on the table. I know it looks pretty to have it all out like that, but it is so easy to just keep taking another scoop and another scoop when it's right in front of you. If it's over on the counter and you have to get up to refill your plate, it's a little bit easier to not overindulge that way. And I also make sure that if you're drinking alcohol, drink some water in between for two reasons. One, you need to hydrate, but two, it'll keep you from having too many calories in the alcohol. So it also, when you have too many calories in the alcohol, you have a little too much alcohol, and then you don't care what you eat. So again, this is all just if you're trying to lighten up. And another really good tip that I received early on was do not wear the stretchy pants to Thanksgiving if you're trying to not completely overindulge. And one of my favorites is what we called spotlighting, which means that you don't take a plate before you go and serve yourself. You go and you look at all the options that are there. This is great when you go to a buffet. Look at all the options, pick out what you really want to eat, what you really want to, spend those calories on, and then go get your plate and load up. Because otherwise it's one of those, oh, I want a little of that. Oh, I want to taste a little of that. And by the time you're done, your plate is way more full than you ever intended. Now, if you're not worried about that and you're just looking to enjoy this Thanksgiving dinner, good for you. Have fun, enjoy it, indulge all you want, and don't feel guilty about it because you don't have to. I just want to say that at Bagot, we are so grateful for all of you, our friends and our family, and we hope you have a safe and a wonderful holiday. If you have a tip you have for, cooking things really well, if you have a favorite recipe, if you have a safety tip, if you just want to share your gratitude in the comments, please do that. I hope you have a fabulous holiday, and we will see you next week.